while the other robber, well, he was tempting the matriarch, because he said, why don't you get down and save us and save yourself? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not the attitude to have, my brother. That's why you didn't get a place in paradise and the other man did. You know, they both were thieves, but one of them showed faith and also repented in that moment as well, and that's why he was granted a place in paradise. So even if a robber in his last breath can be saved, then how can we not be saved? Who are we not to be saved? You understand? And we are the Most High's chosen. We are the Most High's favorite people. We are the Most High's special people. He made us special unto himself. You know, we are the only one that got given a law, a guide of how to live our life. No other nations were given any law. Only the Hebrews. Which lets you know that the Most High giving us law is actually him showing love. Because if you really think about it, yeah, if you have a child and your child is outside playing with another child and they're both getting up to mischief, okay, you're not going to really necessarily tell off the other child, because that child is not your child. But you will rebuke and correct and chastise your own child, because you love that child and you don't want that child to go off and do anything wrong that's going to bring shame to your name. So you will correct that child, you will rebuke that child, you will discipline that child. You will tell this child, be indoors by a certain amount of time. You will give them instructions, you will give them a law, rules to follow, because you love that child and you want that child to grow up to be someone that's on the right path, that's righteous, that's doing the right thing, and that won't fall into, you know, the death traps that the enemy has set left, right and center. And we all know, you know, that this world is got traps all set up to destroy our people all around about us, you know. So that's why us having a law is a beautiful thing. Trust me, it's a beautiful thing, because a house that don't have no law, or if parents have children and they don't have law, they don't have any law established in the house, well, it's going to be unruly, and then that child is going to end up ruling you, you know. But I digress. Just basically saying having law is a beautiful thing. But back to the subject at hand. So, you know, the robber, even him doing so much wickedness, was still granted a place in paradise because of his faith. Okay? And he displayed his faith by actually rebuking the other robber and saying, look, you can't be saying this. You shouldn't be saying this. You know? And the matriarch saw and heard and see that, okay, you know what? You've shown and proved yourself in your last minutes of your life, so you'll be given a place in paradise. So if he's got given a place in paradise, who are we not to get a place in paradise? That's why we need to follow the law, statutes, and commands of the Most High, and have faith that what he says is going to come to pass, and that even though we're going through a hard time, we too will be saved, and we too will be given a place in paradise. I mean, the matriarch had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, so if he had to go through it and he was perfect, then who are we to complain? Who are we to be grievous about? Oh, it's so hard. Yeah, it's hard, but it's for your own good. It's for our own good, you know. But back to the subject. So another example of faith displayed, Matthew chapter 9 verse 20, because, you know, it's very important to know how important faith is, because a lot of people do either one or the other. They have faith and no works, or they do works to look good, aka Pharisees, but they don't have no faith. But let me get back to this at hand. Okay, now yes, Matthew chapter 9 verse 20. And it says here, I'm going to read from 20 up to 22. And it says, and behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. Verse 22, it says, but Marcia turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith has made thee whole. You see, having faith as well is not just about believing, and knowing that the Most High is, going to be able to do what he says he's going to do. Having faith is also a demonstration of, it's like the glue. It's like a glue that seals your relationship with the Most High. Just like if you're getting into any relationship with your husband, with your wife, you make a vow. You say, I'm gonna honor, I'm gonna be loyal, XYZ. And you may not know if it's gonna work out or not, although, we should be aiming not to divorce or aiming not to break up. But when you're getting into a relationship like that, you're actually displaying faith that this marriage that you're going into is actually going to last until, either one of us drop dead, so to speak, And so having faith in the Most High is actually demonstrating our trust, our belief, our kind of loyalty towards him. And that's what he requires. Just like if you're in a relationship, like I said, if you're in a relationship with a man or a woman, husband or wife, you want to feel like you could be with someone that you can trust. You can be with someone that you can be yourself with, that you can, develop and grow with. Because what if you can't be yourself and you can't trust the person, then there's no point of you even being in a relationship, right? I mean, there's not going to be no faith. Just like if I don't see my husband, or if a husband don't see his wife for like months on end, okay, because of work or other commitments that he may have or she may have, then that relationship ain't really going to stand the test of time, because you're not going to have faith in your spouse that they're not going to commit adultery, that they're not going to commit a fornication or do something that's going to defile the marriage itself. And that's the same thing the Most High is required of us. He wants us to believe in him, to know that he's more than capable of doing what he says he's going to do, because his word never comes back void. So he wants us to believe, he wants us to know that we can trust him, we can lean on him, that we can come to him in humbleness in spirit, and that we can ask of him that is according to his will. Yeah, this is not no Santa Claus business. No. If it's according to the Most High's will, then he will grant it. If he knows it's for your good, if it's going to benefit you, then he will grant it. He's not one that withholds something. He's not selfish. He's not mean. He's not just, someone that is just you can't come to. I mean, we must fear him, of course. We must fear him, because he also has another side to him that's very dangerous. I don't want to talk about it. It's just that scary, So I humble myself, But if you ask the Most High and it's of his will, then he's not going to withhold, He wants us to come to him. He wants us to turn to him and to him alone, because we are made for him and for him alone. It's just that close, intimate relationship that you don't want to share with anybody else. I just want my husband, and my husband just wants his wife, and then we're just we're just so intertwined that the whole world and everything else outside in it does not even matter. That's the kind of relationship the Most High is looking in us, with us, once again. Okay. So yes, the woman with the issue of blood, she was healed. Again, another example, Matthew 15, 26, 28. Okay. So Matthew 15, 26, 28, and it says right here, but he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs. You say this scripture here is talking about the faith of a Canaanite woman. Now, the Mashiach, he was not sent but to save the lost children of Israel. Okay, that was his mission. That's what he was assigned to do, and that's what he was going to do. Okay, so when a stranger now, a strange woman, a Canaanite woman who is not Israel, comes and she sees and she knows and she hears about this great wondrous works that this man is doing, and she too wants healing, he then turns around and says to her, look, I only come for my people, like you're a dog to me. Like, he really told her about herself, you know. But her being humble, and I read on, even though he called her a dog, and we all know what a female dog is, okay. So he said, and he answered and said, it is not meet to take children's bread and cast it to dogs. And she said, truth. So she agreed. You see, that is humbleness in its entirety. Trust me. That he proper went in and told her about herself, and she agreed. Oh, wow. Anyway. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from the master's table. So she really humbled herself now. And then, verse 28, it says, then Mashiach answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it unto even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour.